here with Yosha and Rick from Hojo Studios, makers of Inflatality. Can you describe what the game is for the audience?
It's a derpy physics fighter where inflatable tube men beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, it's a really full-on turf war between used car sales and these inflatable waving men. I don't even know if they have a name. They're just fighting for life and supremacy in the used car sales market.
So yeah, it's a multiplayer game, a 1 versus 1 local multiplayer game, fighter.
So what was the inspiration for this game other than driving down the Hume Highway?
Actually, that was pretty much it. We were driving past a used car yard and my 2 kids pointed at 2 of these wavers who were a little bit closer than they normally were and said, "Daddy, Daddy, they're fighting." And that sort of started the idea in our head, and we've been prototyping it since then.
Yeah, they are fighting. Then the game happened.
As you said, this game is a derpy physics fighter. Do you try to aspire to have any balance in there, or is it just all goofs all the time? How close are we to esports?
Balance. I see what you did there.
It's we do. I mean, I think what we've tried to do is come up with a nice mix of it being fumbly, but not too frustrating. So once you've played it the 2nd or 3rd time, you do start getting a sense of how to really make the game work for you. And it's all about knowing where the wind's coming from, moving with the wind and all that kind of stuff. But it's not a game like, it's not a Street Fighter-y type game where it's about button combinations and things like that. It's a twin stick fighter, so it's all about just getting the flow of the waver right. But yeah, I mean, it's a balance between randomness and also just a little bit of skill.
Yeah. I mean, it's just as serious as Street Fighter, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is some really serious stuff.
Yeah.
But the controls are a little nice. I mean, none of us are actually good at fighting games. No. So we just went, let's make one for ourselves. Yeah.
So in its current state, like a lot of people who are trying here at PAX are just waving their arms around like Lisa Simpson. But like, are you guys planning to implement much more in terms of mechanics? Like, are you trying to like incorporate any more systems to the game, like any super meters or anything like that, or unique moves?
Oh well, I mean the systems in the game. There's a combo meter which builds up. When you've gotten your combo meter high enough, you're able to actually unleash one of the special weapons. The one that we've got at PAX is called the Doom Hammer, which is a massive inflatable hammer. In the final version of the game, we're going to have 8 or 9 different weapons, and you'll be able to choose which one you want to take into battle. Also, we're going to have different game modes. We're going to have tournament game modes. We're going to have sort of survival modes, all kinds of things like that.
The different arenas we're totally going to add.
That's right.
Like we were thinking, like currently we're just going with like a default car yard because it's the first time we're showing it. We're going to do more obvious settings like, the Bogan Wedding or Demolition Derby, typical places where you'll see these trashy things.
So at opening of an art museum, that sort of thing?
Oh, definitely, yes. Very serious.
Yeah.
Very serious.
And how deep into development are you guys with Inflatality?
Well, what you're looking at here is about 6 months worth of development. We're very much hoping to have our first version of it released in the first quarter of next year. So I'd say February, March next year.
Thank you very much, Yosha and Rick from Hojo Studios.
Thank you.